Number 14, Aiden Quinn. 15, Adrian Eastman. Number 20, Solomon Asante. 22, Robbie Deborah. 23, Eunice Bujani. Number 25, Brian Reneon. And the captain, 13, Sebastian Quixati. And the head coach for your Indy 11 is Mark Lowry. The Indy 11 assistant coaches are Ike Yose and Gage Zaponi. The goalkeeper coach is Andy Swift. The assistant goalkeeper coach is Bobby Edwards. The head athletic trainer, Josh Franco. The team doctor, Dr. Ashley Warren.
A wet, chilly, Midwestern spring night here at the Mike in Indianapolis. Indy 11 getting set to take on the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, renewing what has been an entertaining, classic rivalry in the Eastern Conference in the USL Championship. Both teams coming off inspired performances in the US Open Cup. Matt Schumacher, Brad Hodder with you. Brad, Indy 11 was right there with the Columbus Crew, one of the best teams in the MLS right now, falling 1-0 earlier on in the week, looking to take some of that momentum to close out the USL Championship slate here in April.
Right, a performance that you could be happy with. You had chances, and it was just a late goal that set that one aside. But then you're also looking to build on the performance last weekend against Monterey Bay. You got 2 goals in the first half, so you started to get that offensive spark and rhythm.
Solomon Asante finally opening his account on the scorer's sheet for the Indy 11. He also tallied an assist in that game.
Yeah, and that is Solomon Asante. He has been a prolific goal scorer and playmaker in this league for a number of years. Not only did he get the goal off of his header, but then this ball that he tucks in behind the defender for Guenzati to one touch past the keeper.
Sebastian Guenzati getting his first goal in an Indy 11 uniform, looking to return to that form we saw him in as an elite goal scorer for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Meanwhile, on the other side for Pittsburgh, Albert Tikwa is somebody that can find the back of the net. He had a hat trick against Memphis earlier on this season.
Yeah, he is dangerous, and they were looking to see who was going to step up when Cicerone and Dixon left, and it's Dequa.
Both of these teams have sputtered a little bit in the USL Championship slate this month, looking to set themselves up for a big May in the Eastern Conference. Kickoff is around the corner in Indianapolis. It's Indy 11 and Pittsburgh coming up next.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Lock in your rate with pre-approval. It's fast, free, and makes buying the car of your dreams easier. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
When the online trends keep getting worse
And you lost your keys in the metaverse.
Now your right swipe just went left on you.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
It's a crazy world, so what do you do?
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
All the color in the world. I'm uncovering.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. And by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Moments before kickoff here at the mic, and a good crowd filing in spite of the wet weather conditions as we show you the Indy starting 11. Partner, we've gotten used to a lot of the same faces in the starting 11. You feel like it might be the strongest in Indy's tenure in the USL Championship.
100% agree. We were talking pregame, and this is the first year in the 10-year history of the 11 that you look at this roster and you say, nobody needs to play above themselves. They just need to play to their resume. They just need to be who they've been in their entire professional career, and this team is going to do fine.
And on the other side for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, coached by Bob Lilly, it's a group that returns 10 players from the team that reached the Eastern Conference semifinal a season ago. They added 14 to this list. They feel like they have the pieces to make a deeper run in the USL playoffs this season.
Well, when you have Canaro Forbes, anything can happen. The guy is brilliant, unbelievably creative with the ball. That's why he's the league's all-time assist leader. But the guy I love is Robbie Mertz. He is the engine of that midfield.
Mertz in his second stint with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, second season in his second stint, coming back over from ATL2 last year. Referee tonight, Jeremy Shearer, and the ARs, Nicholas Balser and Jackson Krauser. Indy in the home blues, Pittsburgh in the road yellow and gray trim. First touch of the night for Edel, who was just absolutely terrific, as we highlighted in the open. in Indy's 1-0 loss in the U.S. Open Cup match against Columbus Crew earlier on in the week. And the injury report brought to you by Community Health Network Sports Medicine. Jonas Fjällberg still the only Indy 11 player out tonight as the offside flag comes up. Meanwhile, 2 men out for Pittsburgh, but good news for their fan base. Junior Etu, who broke his arm back on the 28th, back in training with the team this week. And Danny Rivera missing his 3rd straight game for the Riverhounds.
When you look at the last couple matches, Deespay has been out with a hamstring, protecting that a little bit. It's good to have him back in that back line. Yeah, you got to see Coach Lowry's press right there when it goes back to the keeper. Gwenzati is in full sprint there. Waite takes a couple touches and then turns it over to Cam Lindley.
Let's take a look at tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers.
Yeah, for Indy, it's 90 for 90. 90 minutes of focus for 90 minutes of soccer. Played a good game, a really solid game against Monterey Bay. Blinked twice in the second half and gave up 2 goals and wound up with 0 points out of that match. And then be dangerous in wide spaces. You got to pull the back line apart for Pittsburgh so that Gwenzati and players in the middle have got the space to operate in the box. And conversely, for Pittsburgh, they've got to stay compact. They need to make it really, really difficult for Gwenzati to get a touch in the middle. And then it's the counterattack, especially when you're on the road. That transition game is so important. We saw it against Monterey Bay. Indy 11 turned the ball over at midfield. Alex Dixon takes 2 touches, and that ball winds up right back at the top of the 18. 2 more touches, it's in the back of the net. How quick can Pittsburgh be in transition tonight?
One of the points of emphasis for Bob Lilly and his club has been better possession and making the most of their chances. And frankly, these 2 teams have been polar opposites in that regard in terms of passing accuracy, in terms of possession, and yet Pittsburgh has the higher goal total compared to Indianapolis. They have taken the chances and made advantage of them in a better way.
Yeah, it comes down to efficiency. You know, when you're in the box and you get shots, being efficient inside the 18 is critical.
Here's Dambrot. Pittsburgh coming off a 2-goal win against Maryland in the U.S. Open Cup on Wednesday. And they will get another chance at an MLS side. They will take on the New England Revolution on either May 9th or May 10th in the round of 32. There's Robbie Mertz. Ibarra.
This possession right here was set up on that first pass out of pressure that allowed them to break the lines of the 11.
Indy wanted an offside flag there. They won't get it. Pressure mounting. Ibarra to Mertz. Jamali Waite, the starting keeper. He has started in goal for all except the opener this year for Pittsburgh. He was called up to the Jamaican senior national team, making his first start for the Reggae Boys in a competitive match. Some believe him to be the heir to Andre Blake's throne.
Oh, what a luxury he's got with John Bush as his goalkeeper coach.
Of course, the former Indy 11 goalkeeper. Some ties across the pitch tonight between these 2 teams. Of course, Robbie Dambrot coming over mid-season last year from Pittsburgh. And has really solidified his spot, Brad, in the starting 11 on the back four as Indy is trying to get it out of trouble here.
He's been great. You know, I love the relentlessness in which he defends, and he's just so aggressive going forward too. He adds another element into your attack. Now this is 3 times the ball has been played into Guenzati and the defender stepped in front of him. We need Sebastian to finish that run and hold off that defender so you can build a little bit of an attack.
Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Blackstock wearing number 7 on your screen there in yellow. One of many new faces for this Pittsburgh Riverhounds side. They brought in, while returning a group of 10, they brought in 14 new players this year.
You mentioned that it wasn't a traditional start for Pittsburgh. And some of that has to do with bringing in that high volume of players. Is you got to get that rhythm together. You got to get that chemistry built.
The same could be said for Indy 11 as well, right? I mean, we talked about it off air. We've talked about it on air. The fact that you feel like this starting 11 is probably one of, if not the best starting 11s that Indy 11 has had in its history. And yet maybe the results haven't exactly exemplified that.
Yeah, and you look at a couple of things, and you know, here in the Midwest, you're training in February and March. You're not able to get outside. They're playing in their indoor training facility, and then you got to go open up in Tampa in 80-degree weather. It's humid. The field is slippery. Then the next match, you go up to Detroit, and it's rainy, it's windy, not really conducive conditions to having a rhythmic game. So, you know, not just adding new players in, but then you add in a couple of wild cards. It doesn't let you get fully fluid right out of the gate.
Indy have lost 3 in a row coming into the weekend in the USL Championship after going 1-0-2 to start the season in their first 3 games. And goal scoring has really been the point of emphasis, not unlike it was last year. The difference, I think, this year is that they have brought in additional goal scoring threats. And of course, getting Solomon Asante on the scorer's sheet against Monterey Bay can only spell good things for the future.
Well, you have proven, guys that have proven themselves year after year in your front line, in your attack. So, and it's just right now, it's finding them, finding the patterns, finding the runs. And like we talked about with the keys to the game, you've got to stretch it, but you got to be dangerous out wide so that the edge defender has to come and defend that. And that opens up pockets in the middle that now Guenzati, you know, Asante, you know, you can get Quinn jumping into those spots, but it has to open up. Otherwise, it's just too difficult to break down the back line.
Indy leads the USL by a long shot in possession, averaging over 60% possession in their USL Championship matches to this point, and yet they've managed just 4 goals so far this season, all scored by different players.
And this is one of the elements that allows for such a high percentage rate. You've got a goalkeeper that is comfortable with his feet, that plays out of the box, that they're allowed to build through him and use him as a pressure right here. You got him coming up and stepping in, and that allows Cam Lindley to push forward because he is comfortable with his feet. He is able to play make out of this position, and you can build through him. So you look at this sustained possession right here, that goes into that total towards the end of the game of how long you have the ball. And you spend more money being reactionary than being proactive. So when you have to defend, you have to keep adjusting to the ball movements and the player movements. You're spending more energy.
Sports Tech HQ, Indiana, winning is our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. Dottie, nobody home. He was rolling it ahead for Asante.
And that was one of those, I would love to see that ball come over here to the left. You had Quinn, Robledo, and Guenzati all isolated in a 3-on-2 on the left side of the field. Asante can be a little bit too attractive when you have the ball because you know he can finish. So you see him and it's like, oh, I'll get him the ball because something good's going to happen.
He is 1 assist away from becoming just the 5th USL player ever to have a combined 100 assists and goals in his USL career.
You love that balance in players because if he's just a goal scorer, you only have to worry about him in certain areas on the field. He can play make as well. So now you pretty much have to have eyes on him anytime he's crossing midfield.
Robledo had it poked away. That was Mertz. Bar up, playing it wide for Biasi. Pittsburgh 1-2 in its last 3 USL matches. Lost 2-0 to El Paso last weekend. In a match in which they had more possession, more chances, more shots on goal. They led in every category but the one that matters most, and that's the scoreline.
This is a crazy sport.
It is.
This is a crazy sport because it matters what you do in those critical moments.
It's sort of been a puzzling April for this Pittsburgh team. They've been shut out twice in their last 3 USL Championship matches. Easily handled by Edel. But again, it's early.
Yeah,
and we know this Bob Lilly managed side that returns so much from their core from a season ago is talented and capable of doing damage in this league.
He's incredible. They don't concede goals. They don't give up goals. And a goal conceded costs you more than a goal scored, because if you don't concede a goal, you're at least walking out of that match with a point. So when you have that defensive philosophy of, hey, we're gonna lock it down, we're gonna grind it out. If you're gonna beat us, it's gonna be a close game. And you've come to expect that. This is not, hey, this is who Bob Lilly is 2.0. This is who he's been through his entire career.
And that's why so many of these Indy 11 Pittsburgh Riverhounds matches are decided by a goal or less. Right. In fact, 9 of the 11 times these teams have met in USL Championship play have been decided by a goal or less. So if you like chess matches, you came to the right spot tonight. Series history, last meeting, a 2-0 home loss. Pittsburgh sweeping the series last year. Indy 11's actually the only team that Pittsburgh has played at least once in every single season since Indy 11 joined the USL Championship. So these two teams very familiar with one another in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh playing its 3rd road match of 4 USL Championship matches on its April schedule.
Great ball.
Dambrot with lots of space here. Robledo to his left.
That ball from Deespe over to Dambrot changes things, because now Dambrot has got all of this space. Pittsburgh has got to sprint over and try and jam up the other side of the field. And every one of those that happens early, it's a little bit of fuel that spills here, a little bit of fuel that spills here. And then at some point, those become cumulative in that 80th, 90th minute. Do you have the same level of focus?
Beautiful ball ahead for Dambrot here. Robledo behind him. Dambrot trying to thread it through. And Robledo keeps it in. Rebellion. Asante creeping towards the box. And a glancing header, just not enough on it from Guenzati. And now Quinn on the left side. Driving ball.
It's a great ball.
Blocked just in front of the 6. It will be an Indy 11 throw.
It's a great ball. You got Guenzotti hunting in between two backs right there at the edge of the 6. Quinn tries to bend it past the first defender just to give him a touch.
Community Health Sports Medicine. This is the portion of the match brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Mertz. And a whistle comes in on the tackle from Cam Lindley.
Unlucky for Indy 11. Had the perfect double team on the side. Trapped Mertz. The ball bounces between legs and winds up freeing Mertz out of the double, out of the pressure, and out into a transition counterattack.
Shot there of Mark Lowry in his second season as the manager for Indy 11. Was very aggressive in the offseason, like he was heading into his first year as the manager. And of course, there were plenty of acquisitions during the course of the 2022 campaign. But you just get the sense, Brad, that in year 2, this roster looks a lot more like what he wants in terms of the style of play that he's trying to put out there night in and night out.
Yeah, it's nice when you have the opportunity to select your players, but the players you want may not always be available. In year 1, it may not have been the perfect set of.
And a goal for Pittsburgh. On a mistake from the back line, Albert Dikwa takes advantage, and it's his 5th goal of the season. And the reaction from Edel says it all for Indy 11.
Unfortunate anytime, but when you got a team that just does not leak goals like Pittsburgh, 1-0 is sometimes all you need.
Just gets over the outstretched head of Adrian Deespe, and it almost looked like Edel might have slipped back there.
Well, I think you're kind of caught in two minds right there. One, you expect Deespe to win that ball, and then so you're more in a supporting role in that position. Then when it gets over, now you're kind of caught in no man's land. You got to think, am I coming out to press it, or am I dropping back to try and defend the goal? In the way that ball popped to Dikwa, the only opportunity is to try and sit in there and see if maybe he mishits it, or you're able to get a touch on it.
He's not mishitting much, is he?
What is he? Would you say 6 goals?
His 5th goal.
5th goal?
Yeah. 3rd in the USL coming into the weekend in goals scored. And he's the club's active leading goal scorer.
Yeah, and they had such incredible attacking talent last year with Cicerone and Alex Dixon. And when those 2 players leave for other franchises, you got to be scratching your head and say, who's going to step up? And here you are, what, 6, 7 games in, and well, Dikwa's stepping up.
Pittsburgh with 9 points coming into the weekend, currently sitting in 5th in the Eastern Conference. It's where they finished a year ago.
What a ball.
What does Indy 11 have in response to Dikwa's goal in the 18th minute?
Early goal last week, given up to Monterey Bay, and the 11 answer with 2 before the half. See if they can dial up that same recipe tonight.
Ibarra down in a heap after being crumpled, I believe, by Adrian Deespe. No official word yet on who that yellow was shown to, but I believe it was Deespe. No, I take it back. It was Yunus Boudadi who came in and just crunched Ibarra in the midfield. You're right, though, Brad. Indy 11 in their last USL Championship match, down early 1-0 against Monterey Bay. They take a 2-1 lead into the half, and you think, well, things are looking pretty good for the boys in blue, and then not so in the second half. Some mistakes allowing Monterey Bay to score 2 unanswered and ultimately come away with a 3-2 result.
Well, when you give up the early one and then you respond with 2 before the half, and you go into halftime 2-1, you're flying a little bit high. Hey, we dodged a bullet, we fixed it, we're in good space, and then you come out and it just takes a couple of miscues, a couple of lapses in focus, and then you walk out without the game. So this is great. If this sets up that same way, that locker room is going to recognize, hey, 7 days ago we were in this same spot, and we got to dial it up a little bit deeper, stay locked in for this next 45. But you got to get those 2 first.
Haven't seen Solomon Asante on the ball much, if at all, tonight for Indy 11 so far in these opening 21 minutes.
That is the 3rd ball that has squeaked back to Ordonez, and it looks like he's just clearing it, but it is a driven, angled ball to the opposite side. Tactically, you have to believe, you know, here in the 23rd minute, you've seen it 3 times, that it's got to be something by design that they either want to exploit on something they've seen on tape with Indy, or they've got the players that match up with that style of and scheme. Oh, that's a silly foul.
And an opportunity for a restart for an Indy 11 team searching for an equalizer here early. Another look at it. Clearly a hold. And now,
and you look at last week, it came off of a restart just to the side, got the momentum going in Indy's favor.
Solomon Asante on the ball for that restart, this time in the box, headed away. Cam Lindley trying to keep it in. Down goes Lindley. Play continues, and now a counter opportunity for Pittsburgh.
Little bump too.
Kizza, Dikwa, and now a run from Robbie Mertz. Mertz across the mouth of goal, punted wide. Indy not out of trouble yet. How can Indy get a counter in response? Not necessarily their game, but perhaps an opportunity. And another whistle comes in, and this one will draw a booking.
That's the pace of Budati. Similar to Dambrot, he gets up and down the wing at such incredible pace that he puts so much pressure on a back line.
That was Blackstock just trying to play keep up. And again, Budati drawing a whistle and a restart, almost in the exact same spot, maybe 10 yards closer to midfield. Cam Lindley over the ball for Indy. Still, Jeremy Shear issuing some warnings to both sides inside the 18. Bayonne in there, as well as Vasquez and Guenzati. And now Mertz on the counter. Down he goes from Robledo, and a restart.
Robbie Mertz. Robbie Mertz is one of those players, if he's your teammate, you love it because he will do anything to win. He's just such a fighter, such a scrapper. If he's not on your team, you can't stand him because he doesn't ever quit on anything.
From Pittsburgh, came back for his second stint with the club last year. Felt like there was some unfinished business, not only in the city, but with this club that he grew up watching. Mertz, defended by Asante, flips it ahead. Diabasi.
And he's a great fit for Bob Lilly. This is, as is John Bush, you know, blue collar, meat and potatoes, do the work.
This portion of the match brought to you by Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction management, and investments. The Keystone Group bringing you this portion of the match as the offside flag comes up. Gonzati a little bit too anticipatory. Indy had 6 offside flags come up against them in their U.S. Open Cup loss to Columbus. And it's Robbie Dambrot down at the moment for the boys in blue.
Yeah, might have gone head-to-head on that last ball that Vasquez won in the air.
Nearly 30 minutes gone. Your impressions of the match and how it's played out to this point?
Yeah, I'd love to see it without that early goal. Not just for Indy's sake, but there was a nice rhythm and a nice balance to the game. Both teams were kind of feeling things out. You hate for a game to kind of slant because of a mistake. You want it because of something brilliant was created, or there was something really beautiful that happened out there. So I would have liked to seen how the script was written from the beginning without the, you know.
Well, it was entirely against the run of play as well, right? There was a ball that got chipped over on a turnover, misplayed. And then bad positioning for Edel just allowed Dikwa, who is a supreme finisher, to tuck it home.
And look, that's 2 times that Dispay has, and he's such a ball winner. You saw that in the first 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, 3 or 4 balls that were served in his last couple, the goal and this one, a little bit off.
It's almost as if he mistimed the jump a little bit when he went to win the ball, just sneaking over his head. But that goal in the past now for Indy as they hunt for an equalizer with 15 minutes left in this opening half. Indy 11 fans, you can take the boys in blue with you wherever you go. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or on Google Play. Dambrot calling for it. Quinn instead playing it back. Chipped ahead for Gonzati. Gonzati turning it around. Well played on the back line by this Pittsburgh team that, as Brad mentioned, is built not to concede goals. A true bend don't break type of defense and back 5 for this team.
And you look at the balls that are being served in by Indy. They're balls in the air. They're balls that, you know, Guenzati and Asante and Robledo are having to fight for, instead of a ball that, you know, is to feet that they can hold off the defender. Pittsburgh's doing a fantastic job with their back line of stepping in front of that ball every time it's been served in.
This is a Wilson Kehoe winning hit corner kick.
First corner kick of the match for either team here, and it's Cam Lindley.
The ball.
The corner kick brought to you by Wilson Kehoe Winningham. Played back in. Guinzotti. Biasi was there to touch it away. Robledo. Vasquez calling for it at midfield. Instead driven ahead for Dambrot, and no run there from Asante.
Yeah, that's tough. You know, ball served in. Dambrot's only option is to head the ball, but you got Guinzotti and Asante too close to you that you can't play it into space for him.
Jamali Wade really hasn't been tested in his first half by the Indy 11 front line.
Not yet, and you know, we have that magical bit of sun that's peeking into his eyes right now. You're only going to have him for about 15-20 minutes, so now's the time to see if you can't put him under a little bit of fire.
Pittsburgh has only allowed 6 goals this season. Wade has already posted 2 clean sheets, and he himself has only allowed 5 of those 6 goals. Only match he missed was the team's season opener. Called up to the Jamaican national team for their trip to Mexico. There's Mertz. Always just seems to start with the ball at his feet, doesn't it?
He's always around. He's always around. Constant work ethic from this kid.
26-year-old. Listed at 5'7".
Okay.
Doesn't play like it.
We spoke about that before this game. There are guys that are 6'4", 6'5", that play like they're 5 feet tall, and there are guys that are 5 feet tall that play like they're just monsters out there.
Soccer Saturday presented by Indy 11. Join us every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Soccer Saturday brought to you by the Indy 11.
And if anybody's going through a rake straw withdrawal tonight, it's a podcast too, so they could download past episodes and get their fix.
They should just mute me, watch the game, and listen to the Rake Straw podcast.
No way.
Tough for Robledo. Just a step behind that pass. Gives it up to Biasi and Pittsburgh.
Watch his look on every first touch that he's got has been an angled ball across the field.
Biasi. Kizza. Not called his name much tonight so far. Similarly to Asante for the Indy 11. But both very capable of creating something out of nothing. Dikwa applying pressure. Edel rolling it ahead.
It's a great read.
10 minutes left in this opening half plus stoppage. Indy falling behind 1-0 in the 18th minute. Dikwa on a turnover, beating Dispay and Edel. There's Quinn. Brock keeps it alive. Dan Brock twisting his way out of trouble there. Well played back to Edel.
So this is where the ball's got to move quicker. Dambrot brings 3 players into this one pocket, breaks that pressure, and then it's too slow out the other side while Pittsburgh's unbalanced.
This portion of the match is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana, proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. Both of these teams coming off midweek matches out of league play. Indy 11, of course, taking on Columbus on the road. Pittsburgh playing a home match against the Maryland Bobcats, coming away with a 2-0 result. Who do you think's been the sharper team through these opening 40 plus?
Well, I'll go back to the early goal because I think that was the benchmark where both teams had the tactic and the style that they wanted. Once that goal goes in, now Pittsburgh has the luxury of not having to open up. So are we seeing both of the game plans that were scripted in the scouting reports, or have they had to change? Indy's had to be maybe a little bit more aggressive trying to get the equalizer, and Pittsburgh has that luxury of not having to stretch themselves right now.
Stock with a nifty step over. And I don't think Mark Lowry was too keen on that defensive possession, if you will, for the Indy 11. He sat right down in the manager's seat. Here's an opportunity for Guenzati. Guenzati splitting the defense and blocked again. Now Asante has a go, and it's touched aside. Beautiful save by Jamali Waite. Wow. With the sun in his eyes, as you pointed out 10 minutes ago.
Great little touch and move from Guenzati, is able to get off a shot. When Asante started winding up to fire that, we're thinking, man, you're a little bit too far away, but that thing had eyes for that lower right corner.
That was an excellent defensive play by Arturo Ordonez. And then Waite parrying it away. Here's an in-swinger, back post. Dos Santos applying the pressure and wins it back for Pittsburgh. That corner kick brought to you by Wilson Kehoe Winningham. Only 2 corners in the first half, both for Indy, both dealt with without much issue by Pittsburgh. Show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card in any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Dambrot to Quinn. Vasquez at midfield. Wide for Deesbay. Fresh off the hamstring injury, as you mentioned. Good to see him back in the fold. Some space. Guenzati.
It's a great find.
Ordonez.
It's a great ball by Quinn to find Guenzati's feet at the top of the box.
There's been some better build-up play as Dambrot splits the defense, trying to drive it low near post, and blocked out for an Indy 11 throw-in. 5 minutes and change left in the opening half. Indy applying more pressure here as of late.
A massive lift to get the equalizer before the half.
Pittsburgh back line didn't like the call for a corner by Jeremy Shearer, but Indy will have its 3rd corner of the first half. Brought to you by Wilson Kehoe Winningham. Cam Lindley to take the corner. Lindley goes near post, glanced away. Quinn playing it down, but a whistle will give it back to Pittsburgh. The man who has made the difference in this match, a little bit shaken up after taking a shot to the face. Scored his 5th goal of the season earlier in the match in the 18th minute. Another look at it. Where's number 9? happened off the ball. Maybe some contact there with Adrian Deesbay. This portion of the match brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Bring color to life with Sherwin-Williams. And when Dequa lurks, you better watch your back, because he can turn a routine play on the back line into a turnover quickly.
Yeah, great pace and great ability to read when to step, when to press, and when to lay off. He sometimes just baits you into that extra touch.
Robledo down for Dambrot. Now wide for Aiden Quinn. Robledo doing well to stay with it. Asante. Quinn left totally unmarked here on the near sideline.
Yeah, it's got to bounce quick. Pittsburgh defenders are doing a great job of sitting in that channel that doesn't allow that entry pass.
Quinn with the left foot. And now Lindley.
Great touch.
Down for Robledo. Good build-up play nonetheless.
Yeah, that touch by Lindley, that's next level. Here it is, you know, not only are you having to focus on that ball to deal with it, but you've already got in your mind where the other pieces are, so you know exactly where to play.
Don't you feel like this game has changed a little bit in the last 10 minutes to Indy's favor?
They've had I mean, you look at the corner kick, you look at this build-up play, the ball from Lindley to Rebion. I mean, you're having shots. You got Dambrot coming in and firing shots. So you're at least generating the opportunities. Now you got to execute. You got to finish one. Such pace. Absolutely incredible pace.
Dequa down. Nothing from the referee. And he remains down behind the play. Robledo wins it back for the Indy 11. Less than 2 minutes left in standard time here in the first half. Not sure exactly what to expect from stoppage. We did have one minor injury timeout. A few bookings.
What a move from Robledo there. Yeah. He's in a double team with his back to the field of play. A little quick flick between the two and turns.
Vasquez. Fans, a reminder to watch Wish TV, your local news source. Find them online at wishtv.com. Run from Budati, such pace on that outside.
And just one touch too many. It looked like in that last touch, he was between two ideas. Great ball.
Here's Dambrot with some room to create. Dambrot. Nothing doing. As the fourth referee, Velimir Stefanovic, shows 3 minutes of stoppage time to close the opening frame.
When you look at the defensive positioning for Pittsburgh in moments like that, the last two times Dambrot's taken this ball down, the defender is right in the lane that Dambrot can't bend that ball around and behind the last line of defenders.
Staffing agencies find jobs. We build futures. The Morales Group.
An incredible touch by Gonzalez. Over the shoulder, little touch outside of the foot switches Fields. Might be time for one more opportunity.
Keystone Construction Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction management, and investments.
It's just right now, it's just taking too long to move the ball. You pull Pittsburgh to one side, then you move it to the other side, and it just...
A turnover. Pittsburgh trying to capitalize and defended really well that time by Jesus Vasquez.
Great tackle.
You thought maybe for a second Bernardo Forbes is going to let one rip from the top of the 18.
See a player that skilled, that creative, with that much space in the 18, you just stop. Stop everything you're doing, you watch.
Dan Brock. Zani kept it alive. Lindley,
what a hit.
Timer.
What a hit.
And it's out for another Indy 11 corner, and this might be the last effort of the first half. Man, that was a rocket from Cam Lindley.
Love to see that. Love to see that. He's such a great playmaker. You think, okay, he's gonna dish it off to somebody, but what a shot.
There's an in-swinger near post. Ordonez plays it away, and that ends the first half in spite of Cam Lindley's argument that there was still a chance there for the Indy 11.
You always say that when the ball's at your feet.
So the difference in this match, a turnover and a counter opportunity for Pittsburgh. That was part of your keys to the match tonight. Pittsburgh did what they had to do in the first 45 minutes.
Right, it's got to be locked in for the full 90, and just misplayed a ball. And it's unfortunate that Indy's in this spell right now where every mistake seems to wind up in the back of the net. It's got to break that jinx, and a good second half can put you on solid footing.
Albert Dikwa beating that man, Yannick Edel, for a one-goal Pittsburgh lead after 45. First half down, second half to go. We'll be back with more at the half from the mic after this.
very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
And the winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Indiana, winning is in our DNA. And we're winning the future with $22 billion in new business investment, building an economy of the future with unprecedented momentum. Indiana, for the winners.
Welcome back to the mic at the half between the Indy 11 and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. We mentioned both of these teams playing U.S. Open Cup games earlier on in the week. For the Indy 11, Brad, taking on a really good MLS side in Columbus Crew, maybe the best playing in the MLS right now through the early goings of that season. As we take a look at some of the highlights, it wasn't a typical game that we've seen Indy 11 play this year. They didn't have the bulk of the possession, but it was an inspired effort nonetheless from the boys in blue.
Right, and the tactics were right. You know, sit in, look for opportunities to counter. This is a great opportunity. Martinez does a great job to create that run for himself. And I think if he would have slid it across the Tejada in the 6, it would have put Indy up 1-0, and then they could have packed it in a little bit deeper.
Indy had chances, to your point. They gave up the game-winning goal in the 83rd minute after a tremendous defensive performance. And I'd be remiss if we didn't mention Yannick Edel. 7 saves in goal, a terrific performance, maybe his best of the season for the Indy 11.
Yeah, not just 7 saves, but 7 incredible saves. I mean, everything from point-blank opportunities in the box, coming out and controlling things in the air. Just had to be a presence with his feet as well. Terrific performance from Yannick.
Mark Lowry echoed the same sentiments that we heard Robbie Dambrot say after the game, which is that they felt like there was opportunity for more. Look at the stats here, the way the game went, giving up 17 corners. Indy could have possessed it better. Mark Lowry felt like if we played this way against any other team in the MLS on that given night, we would have come away with a result.
I really liked the opportunities that they generated. Not just that one from Martinez, but Asante had an opportunity late in the game. Guenzati had that shot that we saw get saved. You know, there were moments that Indy had some really electric opportunities.
They came very close to beating one of the top-tier MLS sides. Can that give this team some momentum, not just in the second half of this game, but throughout the rest of the USL Championship season? We'll be back with the second half after this.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
all the color in the world. I'm uncovering, oh.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
It's a crazy world, so what do?
Tell them more, tell them more, tell them more.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work. It can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
The main part of my job is definitely listening. People deserve transparency. I don't want the financial part to be something that stops or hinders a patient from having the health care that they need. I try to treat each person like they're my mom or my grandmother, my daughter, my husband. I want them to know that they're not just another phone call for us. And it's very rewarding to know that I can provide peace of mind.
Stand by me.
Tonight's match is presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana is proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. And by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care, simply delivered.
Welcome back to the mic, where some fans are enjoying a little pizza, little cold beverages. Great turnout on hand in the first half. Pittsburgh getting the opening goal on a counter opportunity which, Brad, you talked about as a key for this team when we got this thing kicked off. Matt Schumacher, Brad Hodder with you. 1 half down, 1 half to go here in Indy. You mentioned it. The boys in blue just seemed like they were lacking a little bit with that extra touch or that quicker touch to find the open slots.
Yeah, I'd love to see the ball move quicker. They're doing a great job of getting the ball wide, pulling Pittsburgh into certain pockets on the field, and then when they break that press, it's not quick enough to the other side where they can create the overload.
For Indy 11, this is a team that has lost 3 consecutive USL matches coming into this game. They lead the league in possession. They have the horses to find a goal. I did feel like towards the back end of that first half, we started to see possession turn into opportunity.
Yeah, there were opportunities, and you had the right players taking the right shots right around the 18. Now it's just finding a little bit bigger window. Right now, Pittsburgh's doing a great job of keeping things compact in the box and making space very, very difficult.
First half highlights, and there weren't a ton of them for Pittsburgh, at least offensively. This was early. Robbie Mertz tried to sneak it back post. Great save from Edel. Pittsburgh didn't really possess the ball all that much, and that's something that we have seen from them time and time again. But on this ball,
and you look at
what just found his way behind the defense.
Yeah, you look at that goal. It's 2 touches. It was 1 touch from the back line and then 1 touch past the keeper. That is as quick of transition as you could possibly have over the course of 50, 60 yards.
We're now joined by the second-year manager, Mark Lowry. Coach, your message to the team at the halftime locker room after the first 45 minutes.
The last 30 minutes of that half, I don't think Pittsburgh got out of their half. It was much better. Poor goal from us to give away, but you know, we've got to keep picking up those positions inside. Harrison coming inside, Solo coming inside. It's giving Robbie and Aiden more time and Eunice more time on the ball out wide. And the last 30 minutes was really good.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much, and good luck in the second half. How about that handlebar mustache?
I didn't see it.
You didn't catch it.
I did not catch it.
I mean, we got.
I'll watch it on the replay.
Yeah, exactly. Indy, there it is. How would you rate that?
Oh my goodness, there's got to be a 10. I wonder what kind of, got a lot of wax to keep that thing looking like that.
A little English on the end of that mustache. All right, folks, here we are back to soccer. Second half underway from the mic. Indy in the home blue kit, Pittsburgh in the road yellow and gray trim, and an Indy player down at midfield. Not even 30 seconds into the second half. I can't quite see who it is.
I think it's Vasquez.
Is it? Ooh. Yep. Jesus going down in a heap after making contact with a Pittsburgh player trying to clear the ball out of midfield.
Halftime substitution, Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC leaving the match.
Vasquez, second-year transfer from RGV, loaned in July, dealt with some injury. Has been playing really good football on the back line for this team. Look there at Trevor Zwetsloot, the 23-year-old New Zealander who subbed in at halftime.
And you got, as far as center backs go, you slid Dambrot in there against Monterey Bay with Dispay out. But you got Mishak, Jerome, and you got Reese that can play. Those are your 2 options right now if Vasquez can't go.
That substitution brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Vasquez,
good to see.
Under his own power, just deciding to stay in the match. Budati, Rebellion trying to determine possession here. Jeremy Shear, a referee. And now the Pittsburgh manager Bob Lilly up off the bench, also having a chat. It's all been worked out though, and again we resume play.
That's one of those injuries where you're warmed up, you've got your adrenaline going, you feel it, it hurts now, but tomorrow morning,
ice bath immediately after the game. Maybe you just sleep in the ice bath tonight.
That's impossible. Unless you got just crazy sleep patterns.
Lindley had a stellar opportunity at the end of that first half on a one-time opportunity. He just finds ways to pick the defense apart.
He's a quarterback,
precision passing.
You come up and you start pressing him and the players around you, he goes long. You lay back to try and pick off that long ball, and he's going to pick you apart underneath. Oh.
One goal by Albert Dikwa, the difference in this match. You saw it during the halftime highlights. Other than that, there hasn't been a whole lot of opportunity for Pittsburgh. The chances have mounted for Indy, but credit to Pitt's back line, particularly Arturo Ordonez, who has been sensational at stunting anything really around the 18.
It's so tough for the 11 to get a touch inside the 18. The back line of Pittsburgh is doing a great job both blocking the angles to deliver that ball in, and then being first to ball when that ball comes to the 18.
Zadi. Now Asante doing well to flip it. Budani playing it back in. Dos Santos turning it aside. Mertz.
Great build-up.
The beginning of every good attack for Pittsburgh, it seems, starts with Robbie Mertz.
If you're in Pittsburgh, every time you hear that name, you're thrilled because you know something's happening. And if you're anywhere else in the USL, it grinds on you.
Sports Tech HQ, Indiana. Winning is our DNA. For more information, visit forthewinners.com. Kiza.
Well defended.
Man, he had an opportunity, didn't he? And now Canardo Forbes. Bayonne possibly leading an Indy counter. Robledo not anywhere near the area that the ball ended up.
Sometimes you see the space, you realize, hey, that there's an opportunity there. Somebody's got to be busting into that area, and you drive it in there, and there's nobody on the other end of it. And part of that came from Guenzati had to work all the way back to the edge of the defensive third to come and make a play. So now you're down one of your targets when you win that ball in the middle of the field.
This portion of the match is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealer. Central Indiana, proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today. Indy just 4 goals in USL play this year. That is in the bottom portion of the league, yet they lead the league in passing accuracy, or top 3 rather, and they do lead the league in possession. We saw that possession bring fruit at the end of the first half. It just didn't result in the equalizer. Right. So many of these meetings between Indy and Pittsburgh have resulted in 1-goal games. 9 of the 11, in fact, Brad, have been decided by a goal or less. It's just the way Pittsburgh plays. They make it so difficult to find a goal, let alone multiple.
And, it's year after year. The players change, the opponents change. Everything changes with Bob Lilley. That's the one constant that keeps that defensive juggernaut going.
legendary United States soccer coach, particularly in this league, and has made Pittsburgh a contender in the Eastern Conference. Finished 5th a season ago. They are currently in 5th right now with 9 points. And headed to the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup. Asante wins it back for the Indy 11.
It's incredible. Dos Santos is all over Asante's back. He's able to hold him off and turn in one touch.
Interesting, Cam Lindley didn't allow things to settle. He wanted to quickly get the ball moving. These pay. Lindley. Ahead for Asante. Instead it's Budati trying to track it down in the corner. Budati across the touchline and out of play.
I like that thought. I like that thought. You make that edge defender have to make a decision. Does he stay in on Asante or does he come out to Budati?
Budati brings so much pace down the right side. And you've tried to utilize him from time to time tonight. Hasn't resulted in anything on goal. Hey, Brad, have you heard of Mom Water?
I have. I think it's one of the most brilliant names ever.
Well, you know, it's refreshing. Fruit-infused vodka water, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 carbonation, only 90 calories. Mom Water is the perfect game day drink. What do you think?
I have not tried it yet, but I am anxious to do so.
It is founded in Indiana and now a proud sponsor of the Indy 11. Please drink and enjoy responsibly. We are hearing that Mr. Rakestraw says they are delicious.
That's where he's at tonight.
Yes, he's enjoying a Mom Water. This Indy 11 attack. They brought in all the right names. They returned some of the legends of the game and guys like Solomon Asante. It just hasn't quite clicked yet for this team. A run from Dikwa. He already has 1 goal tonight. Dikwa.
Wow.
Turning it back for Mertz. Dikwa leaves it off for Canardo. Forbes, and it's into the chest of Vettel.
And that's a tough save. That's a tough save. That ball had a little bit of movement on it. You saw that he bobbled it, but Dikwa is right in there if there's a rebound, so he could not afford to spill that ball.
My first thought, why didn't Dikwa just take the shot himself? Turned his back to the net, tried to play it back towards the top of the 18. Think about all the change, though, for this team, right? No Pino, no Aoze, no Arteaga. Those 3 guys accounted for 75% of this team's scoring last year. Plenty of new faces. Starting all the way back at keeper with Vettel. I feel like there's still a bit of a feeling out process with this team.
There is, you know, I'll go back to the first 2 matches. The weather conditions and things don't allow you to find a rhythm. It's more of that, hey, you know, who's going to grind out the win today, or who's going to grind out the victory. You're not able to get in a flow. Defending is so much of a decision. It's me versus you. I'm gonna make life difficult for you on every ball. I'm gonna you know, fight every single touch that you have. Offense is more rhythm, and that kind of fluidity takes time to develop. And now the great thing about Indy is you've acquired veteran pieces, so they've all been through this. They've all been in this. Oh, what a ball! What a touch by Robledo. My goodness.
Thespe, Asante. He stumbled, and it resulted in an errant pass and a turnover.
Yeah, you hate to see it. One of the things that Coach Lowry preaches is we want sustained possessions. We want to be in the attacking third, and even if the opportunity, the shot doesn't develop into a goal-scoring opportunity, we want to keep the ball in here. We want to put the other teams under defensive pressure, and you started feeling that sustained possession in the attacking third was happening right there.
And advantage given as Dikwa went to the turf. Rebellion didn't like it. Indy 11 Premium Suites are the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com or call 317-685-1100. Sante is just a step behind winning that back. Rebellion to Butati. Santos. Ibarra. Long pass back to Wade.
Oh, I tell you, I thought Mertz had an opportunity to slip Dikwa through the back line.
Of substitutions getting ready to come on for Indy 11. Looks like we might see Douglas Martinez as well as Jack Blake at some point here in the second half. Of course, Martinez, one of those major offseason signings, as part of Mark Lowry's attempt to bring in more goal-scoring threats. This is a guy in Douglas that at one point scored 17 goals in one season. That was back in 2019 for the Real Monarchs. Flipped ahead, and Robledo cannot get there.
The game against the Crew on Wednesday night, Martinez had an unbelievable little nutmeg through the defender, was able to walk it through into the end line and put a shot on goal. He had to hide a slashing into the 6. If he saw him and would have laid it off, would have been a great goal scoring opportunity for the 11.
The Denny Company's tearing down the past so you can build the future. Trusted contractor since 1990 here in Indianapolis. Santos. Dambrot not pleased with Jeremy Shear. Remember, Dambrot knows a lot of these guys, played with them last year before a midseason transfer to Indianapolis.
And he is such a competitor.
Oh yeah. There's a run from Dikwa in behind Vasquez, and it's out for an Edel goal kick. But we will see Douglas Martinez and Jack Blake come on for the Indy 11. Here in the 62nd minute.
That pace of Deke was just unreal. Just a heavy touch off of his knee allows it to be a goal kick, other than him collecting it out on the other side and making something happen from it.
So Douglas is on for Rebellion. And Blake is on for Cam Lindley. These substitutions brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
Entering 42, Douglas Martinez. Also for the 11.
We got a lot of pace and a lot of goal scoring ability on Indy's front three right now. And you have to look, Pittsburgh's got to be careful that the back line doesn't get too high, because that quick ball over the top with the pace of Martinez and Guenzati and Asante gives you the opportunity to exploit that space.
Martinez and Blake, of course, teammates prior to their arrival in Indianapolis at one point with Real Monarchs on the team that won the USL Championship final back in 2019.
So you can see with the substitution of Martinez and putting a bit more pace up front, Coach Lowry pulled Budati aside and talked to him while the substitutions were going on. And you have to wonder if he's saying, hey, if you see that high back line, let's play a little bit more direct here this last 25 minutes.
Like pulling the point guard aside when the other team's shooting free throws. Or your team shooting free throws.
So that's a very good analogy.
For you basketball fans out there.
There's a few in this state.
Great crowd on hand tonight. The Brookyard Battalion has been packed since well before kickoff. And the grandstands filling in nicely after the rain subsided here in downtown Indianapolis. Asante taken down by Zwetsloot, and nothing from the referee. Here is Kizza. Down goes Jack Blake whistled. And nothing out of the pocket of Jeremy Shear. Asante still down way beyond midfield. Here's another look at what happened to Asante. Zwetsloot coming in with a hard challenge.
Yeah, I think he got to the ball first. So I don't know that there's anything in there to call. It's just an awkward landing.
Not much in that from Jack Blake.
I actually thought he got a little touch on the ball, so I thought that was fair game. But, officials got a different angle than I do.
Couple of substitutions coming on. Pat Hogan in the central defense. And Tola Shawunmi, a young man that this team has high hopes for. His first year as a pro, but 3 years collegiately at UNH, was an All-American and the Conference Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago in the American. You want to talk about pace. You got Shawunmi up there. You've got Kizza up there. Shawunmi coming in with fresh legs as Dikwa heads to the bench. His job done, getting this team a 1-goal lead going into halftime. Asante now leading the break. Poorly played by Blake.
There's the missed touch, yep.
Good fight from Dambrot trying to win it back. I beg your pardon, Dikwa stayed on.
And you could see the brilliance of Forbes. He knew that with the the break and the gap in the back line of Indy, that ball was going to come to him, and he'd be able to send Dikwa in, and Dambrot comes up and gets just enough of it.
It was Kiza who came off rather than Dikwa. So you've got Shawunmi and Dikwa at the top for Pittsburgh. And if you're Indy, you have to be ultra careful and mindful of the counter. And a second goal that effectively puts it away, because this Pittsburgh team.
Right.
Hard to see them on a night like tonight conceding 2 goals.
And you want 3 points, but the thing you have to focus on right now is we just need the equalizer. We need the equalizer. We'll worry about that second goal later. And Robbie Mertz to the bench as well.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. And back to the boys in blue quickly. Yunus Budati. There's a run from Douglas Martinez.
Just enough of it.
Joe Farrell playing it back. Douglas Martinez, the most recent addition to this Indy 11 side, transferring over from Sacramento on March 17th.
Wicked pace. Wicked pace.
Luke Biasi, a little bit hobbly, getting up from the wet turf. Juan Tejada now popping up off the Indy 11 bench. So a trio of second half substitutions for Mark Lowry. Just trying to find anything, that right combination to get the magic in the final third. Asante shielding the defender, somehow kept it in. And now Blake back to Asante. Asante, the one-hopper into the midst of Jamali Wade.
Tough. Not enough separation where he could pull that ball back. Just enough to be able to get it across the 18.
He doesn't need much space, does he?
No, and he just pulls the trigger so quickly.
There's a run from Dikwa. Down behind the play, though, is Yunus Budati for Indy 11.
Yeah, they're finding this pocket of space where Budati is, and he is having to fight and wrestle for every ball that's coming in.
Got tangled up with Tola Shawunmi. Wouldn't you just love to be a bug on the side of Jeremy Shear's shoulder throughout the course of 90 minutes?
Look at this battle. Look at this. I mean, just every ball that is served in, Budati's got to wrestle.
So Juan Tejada will come on now for the Indy 11.
Substitution. Indy 11 in the 7-second minute. Leaving 10. Harrison Robledo.
And Harrison Robledo will head to the Indy 11 bench. The substitution brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Budati back on. Indy 11 trailing 1-0. They have been since the 18th minute. They had chances towards the end of the first half. Cam Lindley one-timer. Solomon Asante had to go. But nothing has really tested truly Jamali Wade tonight. Has not found himself under pressure.
And that, you just can't give that possession away. You know, I know when you look up the field, it doesn't look like there's any options, but you know, keep the ball, keep moving it.
And another collision. This time it's Robbie Dambrot, the former Pittsburgh Riverhound, involved. Jeremy Shearer has not reached into his back pocket yet. This is Albert Dikwa. Johnson controls the power behind your mission.
Good switch.
Indy trying to snap a 3-game skid in the USL Championship. Close out April with at least a point in the Eastern Conference. Currently with 5 points, 2 spots below the playoff line. Still, of course, lots and lots of soccer to play, but we know from last year, Brad, that it's important to at least be in contention early on in the season, because it can go quickly.
Every point you gain, it goes in the bank. You don't lose it. So you grab a point here, you grab 3 points there. You know there's going to be good runs and bad runs, but you need to wind up in that top 8 in that last week of the season. Yeah, this is the, you could see kind of a little change in mindset. Put some pace up front, play 3 up top, and now look to be a little bit more direct. See if you can catch into that space in behind Pittsburgh's back line.
For Indies, they've been playing a lot of Western Conference teams up until tonight, and the Western Conference is stacked. There's no question about it.
The difference now is, you know, this is when you jump back into the Eastern Conference, everything's double now, because Pittsburgh walks out of here with 3 points. You know, you're contending with them for a spot in the championship.
Massive 3 points it would be for Pittsburgh in their 3rd road game of April in the USL Championship. Just 4 league matches on the schedule this month, 3 of them on the road. On Tejada, fresh substitution, trying to win it back. He does. Jack Blake. For Solomon Asante. 1 goal, 1 assist in the loss to Monterey Bay.
It's just stops and starts so quickly.
Blake, a high arcing ball. Played back in for Douglas Martinez and punted back towards midfield. Central Indiana Honda dealers. Central Indiana proud to be Honda's home turf too. Search your local Honda dealer today.
You got him in. You know, Pittsburgh has got 11 guys behind the ball. Now you've got to be able to pull a little bit of a pocket, a little bit of a lane that you can find. And there's just too many players around the ball. You got to open it up, try and find an area that you can exploit.
They've made it tough. You talked about it in the first half. Their shape has not really been tested. They haven't been pulled wide and forced to cover larger areas of space tonight.
Yeah, and that's the disappointing thing about giving up an early goal, is that the other team now doesn't have to take chances and doesn't have to open up.
Dequa, the man with the game-winning goal in his pocket at the moment, scoring it in the 18th minute on a ball that just snuck over the head of Deespe. Incredible hustle trying to win it back. Slipped in a puddle behind the play. Still has not gotten up, and now he's back on the pitch. But for now, Indy 11 have an advantage. Can they take advantage?
And look, that back line for that early ball is up.
Budati goes down, and a card will come immediately from Jeremy Shear. And it goes towards Nathan Dos Santos.
If you're Indy, you've got to make something happen on this opportunity.
Blake, quick touch to Aiden Quinn. Now Blake on the edge, crossed the mouth of goal and flipped wide.
I loved it. Loved the build up in it.
Ten minutes left in regulation. Imagine we wouldn't see much more than 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage. Blake on a long pass.
What a touch.
Blake chipping it. And Waite was there to glove.
So it was against Monterey Bay last week. I really started to see some, and maybe even going back to Orange County, seeing a dynamic interplay between Budati and Blake. Really starting to gel.
Blake, the first-year transfer from San Diego. Budati, the transfer from Hartford Athletic. This portion of the match brought to you by Keystone Group, specializing in transformational developments, construction, management, and investments. Wait! Give it to Indy 11, the equalizing goal.
What a ball! Jack Blake, one touch, top of the box, recognizes that Waite is out of position. Not an easy ball to handle, but what a finish. That's great fight from Indy. Played a great game for 80 minutes, and we're being punished by one mistake. Have got that equalized. Now you got a point. Now can you grab another one?
Man, right place, right time, and a heady play by Jack Blake. A second half substitution with the left foot. A volley beating Waite, who came off his line to try and punch it away. And now a new game with 9 minutes left in regulation.
What a tough, tough shot. Now here's the question. You've recognized the high back line. You put 3 up top, pacey guys who are playing a little bit more direct. Do you continue that and try to get the 3 points, or do you pull it back, play a little bit more of the way that you've trained all season and try and ride this out and just see if you can earn another opportunity?
Looks like Mark Lowry's going to go to his bench one more time. And we will see Gustavo Risi before this match is said and done. Blake, nearly winning it back. It's a good tackle from Joe Farrell.
Oh, Tispe, what a ball. Running in one direction, recognizing that Vasquez is open in the other direction. Heads it back across his body.
Jack Blake's first goal in an Indy 11 uniform equalizes with Pittsburgh. Stealing a point back at least. Now can they find 3? Community Health Network, exceptional care, simply delivered.
Good opportunity.
Asante, ahead for Martinez. Beat his man there, winning a throw.
Those are those quick opportunities. That ball's got to bounce quickly. You got a 3v3 up top. You get it into the feet of the attack. Great job by the 11.
Pay. Back for Vasquez. Dambrot. They wanted a handball. Mark Lowry pleading his case from the Indy 11 bench. Douglas Martinez. Reese still getting loose. Will be a late substitution. Budani gets it back for Quinn. Now Martinez stopped by Dos Santos. What a play defensively.
Last 10-15 minutes, it's been all Indy.
They lead the league in possession. We saw them do it at the end of the first half, Brad. It just didn't materialize into anything meaningful. But lately, they have put the pressure on this Pittsburgh back line that ranks in the top 5 in the entire USL Championship in goals conceded. Asante went down. They wanted a call. They won't get it. Now Zwetsloot
4-on-2
in trouble. Tolo Shawunmi. Down goes
what a tackle.
Shawunmi. Beautifully played by Dispe.
Well, if you're Pittsburgh and you're in that 4-on-2 counterattack, you need more than that out of that opportunity. You look at the style here in the last 15-20 minutes for Indy 11. It's been more direct and more balls played out wide.
Martinez chips it in, looking for Asante.
What a ball.
Montani was there. And now Tikwa.
Great serve in.
Down he goes, and he wins it back for Pittsburgh, and a card has been shown to Adrian Dispe. Reese still awaiting entry. And now Burke Falling has joined him. He will be a late substitution for the Riverhounds. So Mark Ibarra will come off. Burke Falling will come on. The substitution brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Pittsburgh trying to do something here, or melt this clock away and steal a point on the road from Indy. McGowan Insurance is a proud partner of Indy 11. Visit McGowan, insgrp.com for all your insurance needs. Tola Shawumi just not quick enough to get there.
Yeah, he needed to get a touch on that ball before it hit the ground because it was going to skip on this still damp surface.
Gustavo Risi waiting patiently. Brickyard Battalion and what's left of this terrific crowd tonight at the mic, waiting for possibly the game-winning goal. Played down by Andy Quinn. Adrian Deesbay.
It's so impressive, not just to be able to win the ball in the air, but to be able to play it exactly in a place to win possession. You're just not hitting it back to win the ball. You're actually looking to build on it.
On Tejada, midfield. Wiggles his way out of trouble. Asante. Nice pass, leaving it off for Blake. Now on the outside, it's Budati. Budati curls it in.
A little too jammed up. I think I would have loved to see a little ball slip down the line to Tejada, see if you can pull another player out of the middle.
Anytime you see a ball go past midfield for Pittsburgh and Dikwa is out there, you have to hold your breath a little bit. Asante. Risi is going to come on. Gustavo Risi in the 89th minute will come on for Jesus Vasquez. Now, how much stoppage time will Indy 11 have here? Velimir Stefanovic has shown 5 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, you take a look at Risi, ran right to take the throw, and you've got to believe that he can whip it into the 18.
Jack Blake, a late second half substitution for Mark Lowry, equalizing the match. An impressive play by Jamali Waite there, coming off his line and just wrangling that away from the Indy 11.
Oh, great distribution.
Shawunmi. He has Canardo Forbes. Shawunmi tries to bend it back post.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, just missing a game-winning goal by a hair.
What a look. Set up the defender as a little bit of a screen on Edel and look to bend it far post.
A collective sigh of relief from the Indy faithful. Another look. And I'm not sure exactly how close that was because of the dive from Edel. But it looked close from our vantage point.
And at this point right now, you'd be thrilled if you get another one and get 3 points tonight, but you'd be happy with this result after conceding an early one, fighting back, but you've been a better team all night.
Deesbay, Budati. Instead, it's to Aiden Quinn. Jack Blake lurking at the top of the 18. This is Guinzati and Douglas Martinez.
And the tough part with this is you can't push everybody up into the 18 where you have no secondary level of attack or ability to stop a counterattack. You still have to have your spacing.
The There's always that caution and that threat with Albert Dequa on the pitch for Pittsburgh. He scored the first goal for Pittsburgh in the first half on a long pass over the top, just getting past Deespe. And Indy scoring the equalizing goal off the foot of this man, Jack Blake. Deespe wisely playing it back for Edel. Nearly 3 minutes gone in stoppage time. Indy still mounting pressure. Gonzalez.
Good build.
Dambrot had it stunted on the edge of the box. Wins it back for the Indy 11.
What fighting that kid. Took one touch too many, got picked, but then fought and won the ball back.
Asante. Probing. Asante wiggling free. Asante on the edge of the 18. Down goes Solomon Asante.
Wow.
And nothing from the referee.
Wow.
And the look on Solomon Asante says it all. You think there was more there?
Yep.
Indy win it back immediately. Aiden Quinn. Not much time left here in the stoppage. Budati.
Oh, well done.
Blake. Asante. Solomon Asante. Guenzati.
Oh, my
Just
goodness.
off his left foot. Dambrot trying to win it back. There is Falling, the late substitution for Pittsburgh. And that might be the final play for the Indy 11.
If you could have scripted the final minute of the match, you would say, get it to Solo, break it down in the middle of the field, and find Guenzati in the box with space.
There's obviously always a different feel at the end of the match. But you just think, Brad, could Indy have had this type of urgency from the opening kickoff? What this scoreline would actually read at the end of 95 minutes.
It's tough. You're battling the mental gymnastics of giving up that early goal, you know, being down, the frustration with that, and then having to scratch and claw back. But this last 25, 30 minutes was just unreal.
Mark Lowry's group, though, credit to them. Trailing 1-0 late. Jack Blake comes on as a substitution and finds the equalizer on a volley past the diving gloves of Jamali Waite. And Indy still a point. And that snaps the 3-game skid.
Much needed point. Much needed point. Hard fought, tough earned. Incredible goal by Jack Blake. One touch, hard to handle. Traffic in the box.
Now for our Sports Tech HQ stat of the game. That's tonight's stat of the game, brought to you by Sports Tech HQ. What else would it be? Indy 11's possession, something that they have dominated in all season long to this point. And in the end, Brad, frankly, it's what allowed them to get the pressure on Waite in the second half and find the equalizing goal.
Right, we talked about that sustained possession in the attacking third. You know, it's easy to have sustained possession in your back third. We can just keep knocking it back and knocking the ball around, but it's important to have sustained attacks.
Here's another look at the equalizing goal for the Indy 11. Dan brought in a looping ball in, way off his line, and Blake with the one-touch, left-footed, I might add.
And great serve by Dambrot. You've got Solomon Asante making a run inside the 6. It's just far enough out of the reach of weight that he can't come and collect it. He's got to try to box it. But by the time he gets to it, it's so low, he cannot get that ball up and out of the 18. Jack Blake is sitting in the perfect spot to be able to take a one-touch ball and bury it.
Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. Experience comfort in downtown Indy. Robbie Dambrot, Yunus Boudadi both played terrific matches tonight. And come away with 1 point for the boys in blue.
Those two guys did a lot of work up and down the touch lines.
1-1, the final score between Pittsburgh and Indianapolis, both with a point in the Eastern Conference. Brad and I will be back with more post-game coverage from the mic after this.
Trade your current vehicle and get more. Save thousands with 0.9% financing or payments from $249 a month. Drive with 2 years of complimentary Honda maintenance. To trade, save, and drive, search your local Honda dealer.
For over a century, Indiana has been the destination for sports innovation and the state where champions are crowned. Now, we're entering a new era with Sports Tech HQ, a place that inspires innovation and invests in entrepreneurs who are changing the game, one startup at a time. Welcome to the crossroads of sports and technology. Sports Tech HQ, home of the game changers.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
I'm a happy-go-lucky guy, but sometimes I get a little stressed because I'm not for sure what's going to happen down the road. I was at the cancer unit, and when I come out from seeing the doctor, I said something about needing some help with all the paperwork. They gave me a name and a phone number. Her name was Molly. She works over at Community. She tells me, stop worrying, let me take care of it. She is my angel.
Stand by me.
Don't buy a pre-owned Honda unless Honda certified it. Drive with confidence knowing your engine, transmission, brakes, and more. Honda certified it. Plus, get a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty covering your Honda certified pre-owned vehicle. Only at your local Honda dealer.
Yunus Boudadi, a terrific match tonight for the Indy 11 in a 1-1 draw with Pittsburgh. Indy trailed from the 18th minute all the way until the final 15 minutes of the match. They had plenty of chances, Brad Hodder, in this back half of the second half. It was like a different Indy 11 team, frankly, in the last 15 minutes of the match, plus stoppage time. They ultimately come away with 1 point. It snaps a 3-game losing streak to close out the month of April in the USL Championship in front of a great crowd on this Saturday night in Indianapolis.
Yeah, terrific crowd. I love the urgency that last 30 minutes. And you just got this sense, we're not losing tonight. There's just this refusal to go away with no points. And you love that. As a fan, you love that. And the fans were rewarded. You know, it didn't look like a great night to come out when it first started with the rain. Had a great crowd that came out, and Indy responded and was able to pull this game back.
What can fans, what can this club, this team take away from the last 20 to 25 minutes of this match, in which Indy really looked like a different team than we saw in the opening 45.
Well, you have the psychological letdown early in the game with the goal in the way that it happened. So the fact that you're able to fight back and you were able to have that sense of discipline in the end, stick with, there was a little new tactic that went in there, a couple new players that went in there, and they bought in, they kept their foot on the gas, and they just kept pushing, and eventually, when that happens, the ball's going to wind up in the back of the net.
And it did. It did wind up in the back of the net on an exceptional volley from Jack Blake. As we take a look at the first half highlights, this is really when Pittsburgh had the bulk of its chances, and there weren't many. There was this shot from Robbie Mertz, excellent save by Edel, and then later in the first half, a long pass over the top of Adrian Deespay, and this man is just clinical with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, just a great serve, a little bit of a misplayed ball. You wonder if Deespay is stepping the back line at the time, not expecting that ball over the top, and then Decoy in that position has been deadly this year.
That was a long, low-line drive shot from Solomon Asante, ultimately saved by Waite. Then Robbie Dambrot staved off by Arturo Ordonez, who had a sensational game on the back line for Pittsburgh. And then in the second half, we started to see Indy 11 open it up just a bit more, creating more chances that ultimately led to the game-tying goal.
Yeah, and I'd say that looks like a save just to the goalkeeper's chest, but we talked about it in the moment. So difficult of a ball, and so important that he held it.
This is Jack Blake coming on late in the match, and he made an instant spark. Robbie Dambrot, beautiful service in. Jack Blake off the volley, left foot. Thank you very much. Tied at 1 apiece.
Yeah, he made an immediate impact, not just with the goal to equalize, but as soon as he came in, you could start to see the serves were crisper, the opportunities were more dangerous. He made an immediate impact on this game.
And we are now standing by with Jack Blake. Jack, thanks for joining us. Your first goal in an Indy 11 uniform. Pretty nifty volley there. What do you think of your first goal for the boys in blue?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. Been waiting a long time to get that first goal for this club, and yeah, I was happy that I got it. It can contribute to the team. Yeah.
That's not an easy ball. It's Waite comes out, he punches it, and were you between two thoughts of a one touch or taking a touch to settle it? Because the way it was coming back at you, it was not an easy ball to handle in one touch.
Yeah, it was kind of instinctual, to be honest. Got to give a bit of credit to my teammate Eunice as well. He was shouting at me getting in the box, to make sure I was there on the end of it. So yeah, luckily we got probably one of our first lucky bouncers off the keeper. Something falls to us in the box, and that's not happened a lot this season so far. So hopefully we can get more of those.
Well, you mentioned Budati, and I can't remember if it was the Orange County game or Monterey Bay, but there seemed to be at that point a little different connection between you two. So much more dangerous. You two are playing off of each other well. The serves coming from the right side were a whole lot more dangerous. Talk a little bit about the time that you guys have spent and how it's starting to gel.
Yeah, definitely. I think gel is definitely the right word. We've got so many talented players on this roster. Eunice is one of them. He sacrifices a lot for the team. He's a very hard worker day in, day out. And yeah, he's a pleasure to play with. He's one of many talented players we've got on this team. And the word gel, it takes time for us to get used to each other. And yeah, we have a lot of talented players, but it's not easy putting all the pieces together. And I think step by step we're getting there. I think tonight we made more progress. Would have been nice to get 3. But yeah. We'll take the point and move on.
Jack, you talk about the talent of this team, and it's so evident during certain portions of matches that we've seen you guys play to this point in the season. The last 15 minutes tonight looked like a different Indy 11 team. What changed in your mind for you guys in these final 15 minutes tonight?
Yeah, I think we do a lot of work earlier in the game to wear teams down, with the possession that we have. So in the last 15-20 minutes when me and Dougie come on, the opposition's very tired. The lads have done a really good job of breaking them down, and so when we come on, we have to bring that energy. And so yeah, that's what it was. I think they were getting tired from doing a lot of chasing, and yeah, I'm glad we punished them.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for your time tonight. Congratulations on your first goal in an Indy 11 uniform and getting the point against Pittsburgh.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Jack Blake getting the game-tying goal in the 81st minute, a late second half sub. And there were many chances in this game tonight in the back end where Indy 11 could have come away with a win. Frankly, Pittsburgh's probably feeling pretty good that they snuck out of here with a point.
Right. And, you know, a little different role for Jack. He's been a starter predominantly through this season. And then, you know, 3 games in 1 week, and you give him a little bit of time off and let him come in off the bench. So a little bit different role, but same response, making an impact.
Well, he certainly did make a terrific impact coming off the bench. Indy 11 getting 4 substitutions in the second half. And Gustavo Risi coming in as well and injecting some energy in the final 3 to 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Certainly there was just an initiation of a different type of energy.
Yeah, and you look at Risi too. Obviously, he's got something going with the throw-in where he's able to whip that ball in at a different pace than everybody else, because he immediately went down to take that throw-in, and right when the final whistle blew, he was sprinting to go take that one in the final seconds.
All right, we're now joined by the first-year Indy 11 keeper, Yannick Edel. Yannick, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. This match, we were just talking with Jack Blake. This match felt like it was truly 2 different halves. What was the message at halftime from the manager?
Yeah, we gotta get together and make decisions that are for the team, and we gotta start the game the way we ended it. I agree, it was 2 completely different halves. But I think we just need to be confident stepping on this field and playing together, and trying to get the first goal ourselves.
So it'd be hard to not talk about your efforts in Columbus. It's just an absolutely unreal moment. I mean, it's 7 saves that you're credited for, but all of those saves look like they were within the 6. You know, a kick save here, but in addition to the saves, it was controlling the box, coming out, cleaning up things in the air. Talk a little bit about what it's like when you're in that zone.
Honestly, we felt really good in Columbus. It's not just my effort, it's also the back line and their positioning and the 6s, and it's a collective effort to defend that goal. And I'm there as a last resort defense, of course. But that day everything worked out and looked good for us. Unfortunate that we don't get that goal when Solo has an open net, more or less. It's unfortunate, and then one moment we don't pay full attention to it, and they punish us for it.
You talk about collective effort, and certainly the guys back in front of you, that back 4 and Cam Lindley popping into that pocket sometimes in between the center back. Talk about that connection that you guys are now starting to have across the back third.
I think we're getting more comfortable by the day. The guys are putting in the work every day on the field and practice and in games, and we just need to keep working on that and keep improving our performance together, our connections in possession, out of possession, positioning, all that. Still got a lot of work ahead of us, but we're definitely finding together.
Yannick Edel, thank you so much for your time tonight. Congratulations on the 1 point, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
Impressive job. And I like the style. I like the confidence with his feet. I like the fact that you're able to build through him. He's not just a pressure release, but he's actually, your 5th back when you're starting to build from your back line.
Indy 11 come away with a 1-1 draw and 1 point in the Eastern Conference, snapping a 3-game skid coming into the weekend. We'll be back with more in the postgame after this.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
Meet Chip. 30 years ago, he started a small business with a big idea. Today, there's a new building, a new fleet of equipment, and a new era of leadership. But we know Chip, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he plans to keep growing, building business with the next generation. IMCU is here to help with secure and simple account management tools and commercial financing to grow business. Today, it's all about Chip. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
When your cat's a meme and your dog is too.
And it's hard to know what's fake or true.
Just raise a glass with a friend or two.
You tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
It's a crazy world, so what do you do?
Tell them more, tell them more, tell them more, do.
Trade your current vehicle and get more. Save thousands on all new CRVs with 3.9% financing or $329 a month. Drive with 2 years of complimentary Honda maintenance. To trade, save, and drive, search your local Honda dealer.
It's very true that it takes a village to raise a child. And when it comes to my healthcare village at Community Health Network, it's all nestled right in my phone. Accessing healthcare is the ability to be connected with your provider and ask a question when you need it. I feel like when I'm meeting with a community nurse practitioner or doctor, they're tuned in to what is going on with me and the way that they can serve me best.
Stand by me.
Get beat by one ball, but he slips, and you're like, just not going our way. But you know, no, that was good. But obviously, Jack showed quality. You know, it didn't just fall to him; it was still a difficult chance.